start this episode off with the Secret Avengers on their way to Wakanda to deliver Vision to Shuri to remove the Mind Stone from his head. However, in the Quinjet, we watch several news broadcasts on the ongoing invasion predominantly happening in New York, Hong Kong, and London. Sam and Whittle will ask Rogers if he's sure about this plan, ignorant to the advancements of Wakanda. Steve will assure them that it's their best and only move. They arrive and land in front of the palace gates. The hangar doors lower and the Secret Avengers are met with King T'Challa himself, along with several members of the Royal Guard and the Dora Milaje. They greet each other as they do in the actual movie. However, since Hulk is in space with Stark's group and Rhodey is hospitalized in this rewrite, we don't do that here gag, unfortunately. They all regroup into the throne room where Shuri begins examining Vision's system. She notes the complexity of his design and estimates that it'll take a very long time to even sort out how she's going to go about entangling the circuitry from the stone's power source while keeping him alive and himself. Her team of scientists arrive to assist in the setup and preparations for the extraction surgery. T'Challa will talk with Rogers and Widow while Wanda and Sam watch over the extraction. Steve tells T'Challa and Shuri that he'll do what he can to buy them all the time that they need. T'Challa will name off all the foot soldiers that he has in Wakanda: the Royal Guard, the Dora Milaje, what's left of the Border Tribe, the Jabari tribesmen, and a battalion of Wakandan warriors. He radios in to all stated, instructing them to prepare for battle. Outside the borders at this time, the Q ship belonging to Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight slowly descends. Scouts stationed at nearby Wakandan outposts spot the ship and quickly radios into the warriors' base, warning them of the coming attack. The base radios into the Wakandan palace, informing T'Challa and the Secret Avengers. When asked about the status of the invasion, the scouts reports that oddly enough, no shots have been fired as well as no soldiers have been dispatched from the Q ship. The two minions of Thanos beam down to just the outskirts of a bordering Wakandan village, but are quickly and fiercely met by Dora Milaje warriors, ready to attack with advanced vibranium spears pointed and ready. A Dora Milaje warrior shouts that Corvus and Proxima have no business in Wakanda and to surrender. Surprisingly, Proxima responds by stating of their seemingly peaceful proposition for King T'Challa and the Secret Avengers. The Doras radio this information into the General and T'Challa, asking for instruction. While the Wakandan elders, Sam and Natasha, warn against this proposition, Rogers and T'Challa feel that they need to hear them out in order to prevent innocent blood from being shed needlessly. T'Challa orders for the Doras to escort Corvus and Proxima into the royal throne room at Spear Point. He then instructs for the city to evacuate, engage all defenses, and for someone to get Rogers a shield. Once in the throne room, Corvus and Proxima see T'Challa in Panther gear, sitting among his throne, flanked by the warriors of Wakanda and the Secret Avengers. The Doras allow for Proxima and Corvus to approach the throne, but only so close, all the while keeping spears and weapons aimed at their backs. T'Challa prefaces what he's about to say with the fact that he knows they have attacked New York, London, and Hong Kong, and knows what they're after and their endgame. He tells them to state their proposition. Glaive and Midnight proceed to tell T'Challa about how misjudged they are and what they're trying to accomplish. Though it looks bad, it's a necessary evil to invade this planet and do what they're doing to retrieve the Mind Stone. Steve will rebuttal, saying nothing good is born from bloodshed. Proxima responds that it's no different than what humans do to their own kind, but even those conflicts can be met with negotiations. They are simply asking to be heard. Corvus states that he too is a war general and knows how these things play out. He states regardless of what they think of he and Proxima, they are not monsters and only want to better the universe by advancing Thanos' plan, even admitting that they are not exempt from the snap's effect. They are willing to die for their cause. The proposition is this: they will enact a ceasefire and no harm will come to anyone on Earth. Also, they will allow Shuri and her team time needed to safely remove the Mind Stone from Vision to save his life. T'Challa asks for the catch, to which Proxima responds, "In return, once the stone is safely removed, you'll hand it over to us. We'll leave this planet peacefully and no further harm will come to you or your people through war." Wanda is visibly pleased with this deal because of what it means for Vision, but T'Challa and Cap are not so sure. Wanda will ask why they're proposing this. Proxima and Corvus answer that it's because they saw how much Wanda and Vision fought for each other and loved one another back in London. It reminds them of their own issues, mainly with Ebony Maw judging them. He would tell them that if it's not logical, it's pointless. However, Vision is a logical being that is capable of love, making him the antithesis to Maw's words. They value that, and by killing them, they'd only be proving Ebony Maw right. Natasha asks what's stopping them from killing them right here and now since they're at spear point. Corvus responds saying this is why he said he's a war general. He already planned for this. Both he and Proxima set it up so that if anything happens to them, the Q ship outside will get the signal to open fire on the nation of Wakanda. Either agree to the deal or innocents will die, and they'll take the stone regardless. The decision is left up to T'Challa. And that's part 5. For this part, I really wanted to focus on the political side of war because it's not always about the fighting. So here we're going to see Corvus and Proxima play mental chess with T'Challa and the Secret Avengers, and Wanda's feelings on the matter will be the wild card that makes the whole game unstable. And you know what, I'm just curious also, for those watching, what would you do if you were T'Challa and the Avengers? Would you take the deal? Would you not? And risk the death of hundreds of people? And lastly, I'll more than likely be posting video screenshots of the drawings on my DeviantArt or Artstation pages. So if that is something you're interested in, the link to those are in the description to check them out. Again, thanks for watching. More videos coming later.